In this video, we will be learning some new clay techniques to create a clay box with a lid. First, look around your house for the type and size of box you would like to make. You can make a square box, a rectangular box, a circle box, or even a heart-shaped box. Once you've made your decision, you can start preparing your clay. I will need at least 2 slices of clay, which I am cutting with a wire cutter. With the clay box, I will need enough clay for a top, bottom, and 4 sides. If the clay is soft enough, you can try rolling it as is. If you are not sure, you can knead the clay to soften it up and make it more flexible. To prepare the clay for easier rolling, try kneading and flattening the clay close to the thickness you may want. To keep the clay a consistent thickness, it helps to have some wooden paint sticks or slats to guide the roller. The slats are slightly thicker, so I'm using those to put on the outside of the clay, making sure the roller still fits. You may want to pick up and turn the clay to keep it consistent and to prevent it from sticking to the table. Notice I'm trying to keep the roller on the slats and not putting too much stress on the handles by putting my hands to roll mostly in the center. Now you can take each box and make your final decision on which one you would like to trace. I'm thinking maybe the smaller box or the circle to trace. You can use a plastic or butter knife or other clay tool to trace around the box shape to cut it out. You will need 2 of the same shapes, one for the top and one for the bottom. Now you can simply cut through the clay to remove the excess and carefully lift up the 2 squares as not to tear them or bend them too much out of shape. To create the 4 sides of the box, watch me repeat the same process on parchment paper with the leftover clay. Now it's time to put the box together. I will need to put the pieces in place to see how they will fit. The first 2 sides fit perfectly across. The other 2 sides will need to be cut smaller to fit inside. Notice how I'm lining up the edge right up to the inside of the box and then cutting just inside of the opposite side of the box. Now I will examine the whole box to see if everything lines up together. The next part is going to require some strategic thinking. I've got to figure out where the sides will be touching each other to know where to score the area. I'm drawing lines where I think the edges of the pieces will be attaching to each other with my needle tool. Now I'm scoring all the areas with a crosshatch design. This will take some time, but scoring all the areas plus adding the slip will ensure that my box will stay together.